Here are 3 questions to ask yourself, which really are going to help you look at how you keep focusing on long-term success, long-term achievement, long-term consistency, long-term of getting projects over the line. Now, these questions I've kind of drawn from looking at Tom Brady's life. Now, Tom Brady is a NFL superstar. He's proven himself recently to be one of the best athletes in the world. But what's interesting about him is how he's trained and how he does train and how he prepares. And it so inspired me when I had a look at it that I've kind of drawn these questions out and I've been doing them myself. And it's definitely given me a bit more fire in my belly, which we all need because we're all no doubt in some kind of lockdown or in fear of a lockdown, etc. And fire in our creative bellies are quite useful right now, I feel. So, good morning. My name is Marisha Trembatska, and this is my Love Your Creativity and Make Money. I say good morning because I actually went to bed quite early last night. I got up early, already have chanted. The sun is rising. This is very unlike me as a cabaret artist who thinks I should be wandering around in silk gowns at 5 a.m, still up. But lockdown has changed everything, right? So I want to give you the 3 questions, and then I want to talk to you a bit about Tom Brady and why it's worked for him, and then how it's going to help you. So question 1 is, ask yourself on a 3-year plan, what would you like to achieve in 3 years? What projects, what goals? Do you want to own a house? Do you want to, what projects do you want to get finished? Have you got things half done? Have you got projects that you are dreaming about? Have you got things that you have got done but feel you should be setting up systems to be able to sell them more, whether it's finding a way to exhibit them or make a film go on to a festival tour, or maybe you need to set up a Patriot account or whatever it is. But what, if you look at your life on a 3-year plan from here to 3 years hence, what do you want? Write it down. Question 2, what do you need to change about yourself to make it happen? Because it's very easy to just set goals and go, yeah, but generally the big goals, they don't just take work and effort. They take us changing our behaviours to see what I need to change about myself, where my habits and behaviours can better support my life and my goals and my dreams and my happiness. Because we all know when we're doing things to work towards goals, like my singing practice is pretty in and out. My guitar practice, if I'm going, well, I would like to be a better guitarist in 3 years, you can completely do anything in 3 years, right? So whatever it is in terms of specificity of practice, maybe you want to learn to use watercolours. Maybe you want to learn to code. I don't know what it is you want. But what do you need to change about yourself? For me, this year, I've always been fiercely fit. And 2020, forget about it, right? Lockdown 1, I was definitely cooking like a crazy person for extended family, baking cakes most days, definitely not training like I like to. So 2021 for me I've been much more fierce about my training. And in fact, once I finish this podcast, I'm going to go off and train again. I'm doing some online classes, obviously, because everything's shut. But I'm doing HIIT. It's painful. I can feel a difference. So the question 2 is, again, what do you need to change about yourself to get your goals? And then question 3, what steps can you take today? I think that's pretty clear. I'm going to zip back to Tom Brady so you understand why he's so fantastic as a sportsman. So the highlight reel at the moment is he has just won his 7th Super Bowl championship. He's played in 10 of them and he's won 7 of them. Now, the only people who've won anywhere near that amount are not humans, but actually teams. He played for 20 years at the Patriots, who have won 6 championships while he was there, and another team, I can't remember the name. And he's also been voted 5 times MVP, most valuable player, as in the Super Bowl. But why is everyone so excited he's just won his 7th, apart from the fact that no one's even played in 10 Super Bowl championships, let alone won 7? Well, also last year in 2020, he moved teams. After 20 years of being at the Patriots, he moved to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, I sound like I know what I'm doing. I do know how to do research. But this was all because at the weekend, I decided to do my Singing Psychic podcast where, she does a song of the week for the people ahead. And actually, if you haven't heard that this week it shares, you haven't heard the last of me. It's all about getting up. And also I looked in my Singing Psychic podcast at the songs around when Tom Brady was born to see that. Obviously, it's my comedy character. But I was so interested and fascinated with what I was learning about Tom Brady and his training and his planning that I went, I think this needs to be a Love Your Creativity forum as well. So, as I said, Tom Brady, after 20 years of playing for the Patriots, he moved teams last year. He didn't get to do any pre-season training because of COVID. So he went into a new team, didn't really know anyone, with the single exception of his old mate, Rob Gronowski, who used to play with him in the tight end in the Patriots, who's retired. I've got no idea what the tight end is. No idea, but obviously it's something to do with what they do as quarterbacks. So Rob came out of retirement to join him at the Bucaneers. And, well, they killed it, basically. They won. He won his seventh. Because of the two of them and the whole team together, somehow his drive had got them. He's won his seventh Super Bowl. And, of course, he's not planning to retire yet. And he's also 43. Did he have immediate success? Well, no, because the way the NFL thing, they do this draft pick. So the least good team from the year before gets the first choice of all the graduates. I guess you can't really call them graduates, of all the American football players who are coming out of college, and they get to pick their first one. And then another team picks their second, and they go around until all of them are picked. So he was the 199th pick for the Patriots. He was the 6th pick for them. He wasn't even their first pick. And he said when he first met the coach of the Patriots, the guy went, "Oh, yeah, you're our 6th pick." So that's like, "Oh, you're not." And he went, "Yeah, but I'm going to be your most valuable one." First season, he played one game. This is not a great start. Second season, the quarterback, the one that was there, had an injury. And off Tom Brady led them to a Super Bowl victory for the first time. So how has he been so successful? Well, it's consistency, but he has a 3-year training plan. This is the thing that I went, oh my goodness. Do I have a 3-year training plan? No. His 3-year training plan includes physical. So he'll have 1 year of focusing on, say, flexibility and 1 year of focusing on strength. As I said, if you want to spend 1 year focusing on a certain aspect of your craft, you can choose to do that over 3 years. But he has this plan where he understands he's doing both short-term goals and long-term goal planning at the same time. Amazing, right? It's not just physical, though. He's looked at his sleep patterns. He goes to bed super early and gets up super early. Apparently he was training with some guy who kept complaining that he turned up to join Tom Brady weight training at 6:30 in the morning. And the guy, Tom Brady, was like, "Oh, good afternoon." He said, "I got as far as 6 a.m. and he still said good afternoon, so I gave up. But he goes to bed super early, hence me going to bed a bit early. I've been trying to do that anyway. He really looks at his nutrition. He does something called hot and cold property food. I did this for a bit. It's macrobiotic. I don't live like this. But basically, in cold weather, he eats hot food, so like meat and stuff. And in warm weather, he eats a lot of raw food, so he does that. He's even had his brain patterns looked at, so he can work out how he best learns. And he uses that for A, brain training, and B, his fitness training as well. So, and also he meditates. He's, of course, also married to Giselle Bündchen, and they have some children. And I'm sure having a supportive family is massively helpful. What do you want in 3 years? And question B, what do you need to change about yourself to get it? So, as I said, I've started training back to normal training. So my body's, thank goodness, getting back into my normal level of healthy fitness shape, because I like to feel physically strong and feel great. I like to be able to, I've always wanted to be able to run away from a lion and climb a tree. I understand that if I was being followed by a lion, he probably would still catch me, but just go with me on that. But also, what steps do you need to take today? So Tom Brady is thinking, right, well, I know I've got this goal at the end of the year. This is my year of flexibility. What do I need to do today? What is your goal, your 3-year goal, your 1-year goal? How are we going to get it? 2020 was a disaster for goals. 2021 is not looking that great either. Let's face it. 2020, I was planning to do Brighton Fringe with both my Singing Psychic and my Queen of the Fucking World shows. A first return back to Brighton. Last time I did Brighton Fringe was back in 2010. I did a joint show with a fantastic friend of mine, Elizabeth Mead, called Cooking and Cabaret. Such a great show. So much fun. And we had Liz cooking live, pancakes live on radio while I was singing. Oh, it was a bit bonkers. For the BBC. So fun. But I was even going to do some shows in New York in 2020. I was going to go back to Australia in 2021. I haven't even started that. And I'm already looking at 2021 Brighton, Edinburgh, going, well, can we really be... Because it's on me. I'm my own producer. If I take a show and I don't sell tickets because of COVID... Yeah, I understand how difficult it is. I've gone from gigging 5 times a week, at least, if not like 3 times a day when I'm doing big festivals with my different shows. I've lost the live performance, but it doesn't mean that 3-year goals means 3 years' time do I think COVID's done completely. I mean, obviously I'm going to get vaccinated as soon as possible. So this is my encouraging post. I did do, in my podcast 27, I did look at having long-term goals, even out to 20 years, and how you plan that financially, because obviously we need financial planning as well as, how we're going to afford to do what we want to do, etc., etc. But what are your goals for 3 years? What do you need to change about yourself? Do you need to start practicing every day? Do you need to start working on the next thing? Do you need to build a website to sell something? I don't know what you need to do. Do you need to get the book over the line? Check me out on @MarishaT. If you want to book the Singing Psychic to do a group reading for you with some friends over Zoom, or the Singing Psychic game show, let me know. And of course, my acting agent is Dulcie Houston at CCA Management. So be well. Bye.
I need you so bad, but I know that this is wrong.